every now and again I remember this, and it's super important. And I think it's super important that everybody here remembers it as often as possible. I don't care if you remind yourself every hour on the hour, set a reminder on your phone, whatever. But there's one thing that always brings me comfort and always makes me happy whenever I'm down. And if I tell you what it is, if I just tell you, you're gonna be like, what the fuck's wrong with you, Will? That's the thing that comforts you? But I'm gonna play this last tune for you, and hopefully it'll make a little bit of sense. This is a new one. I just wrote it about a month ago. And
tired, I get sweaty, I get bored. I get sick of the whole persona that's got to be larger than my actual fucking talent. The way I have to try and be the fucking Eric Andre of the piano. Try and fucking spend half the time being Billy Joel and the other half the time being Andy Kaufman. It doesn't fucking miss. I get sick of it. But when I get tired of feeling like I'm just a fucking square peg in a round hole permanently, like I'll never be okay enough for normal enough, I'll never be the kind of person who can ever fit into a place like fucking this, I just kind of keep this one thing in mind. And I think it's a really important thing for everybody to keep in mind whenever they can. Set a reminder on your phone every 5 minutes, I don't care, whatever it takes, never forget this. And if I just tell you what that thing is, you're going to be like, Will, what the fuck is wrong with you? But actually... So I'm just going to sing it for you, and hopefully I can get my point across in this last song. Once again, my name's Will Wood. I'm from New Jersey. Buy my shit around.
I didn't properly practice my pontification. Okay.
Now there is one thing that keeps my head above water when things are getting tough, when I'm feeling like I'm too weird for this world, just like a permanent square peg in a permanent round hole, like I'm permanently clawing my way up the side of the bell curve and sticking my flag in the peak and sliding my way back down over and over and over and over again. When I feel like I'm in this cycle of hopelessness, I'll never go anywhere, I'll never amount to anything, I'll never be anyone, whenever I feel like there's no way I'll ever get out of this mess alive. There's one thing I keep in mind that really just makes things just swell. And I think it's worth setting a reminder on your phone every half hour. Go for it, man. Put this thing on your phone. Just, never forget it. Keep it in mind at all times. It's one fact that just makes everything awesome. And if I just tell you what that thing is, it's not really going to translate. So I wrote this song, which I hope gets the point across, because God knows I wouldn't be able to, just babbling at you like I'm doing right now. So anyway.
Now this song is a new guy, and it's about something that occurred to me the other day, and that was that there's really only one thing you ever really need to remember to keep your head on straight. Just one thing. One thing that if you remind yourself every so often, it's bound to help you out when I'm feeling hopeless, like I'm groping in the dark, or playing that Superman game in N64 where there's really low draw distance and you can't see like 4 feet in front of you. You know what I'm talking about? They tried to do like an open roam thing and they just fucking didn't have the technology for it. That's what I feel like right now. I don't have the technology. I wish I could echolocate my way through the caverns of this existence, but unfortunately I cannot. And when I find myself feeling like there's nowhere to go, and I find myself trying so hard to claw my way up the side of the bell curve and achieve some sense of normalcy in my life, or achieve some sense of balance or happiness, and I can't, and I keep sliding back down, and I keep cursing the God who made me, and I remember this one thing, and it always helps me out in my time of need. And if I tell you what this thing is, you're gonna go, okay, what the fuck is wrong with you, dude? As if, in case you haven't already gotten to that point. Which is why I have to sing it to you. I think it'll help make it clearer. And this song is called The Most Important Thing.
I'm sorry, I want to hear that.
And there's always one thing that cheers me up just a little bit. Dean! How are you, man? Excellent. And that is, not drugs, but, well, the following. A song that I wrote not too long ago about the one thing that keeps me sane. If I were to just tell you what that thing is, you'd be like, what the fuck is wrong with you, Will? As if you weren't saying that already, but bear with me. I'll play you the song and hopefully you'll understand. This song is called...
So before I end it all, I'm talking about the show. Yuck. Thank you all so much for everything. This has been a lot of fun. You guys have been great. I like to close every show with this one last song, because it kind of sums up everything I think I'm all about. There's this one thing that I like to keep in mind at all times. Whenever I feel like I'm just like doomed, like I'm too weird, too weird to live, too rare to die. Ew. No, when I feel like I don't know, like I'm just fucked. Like there's no way I'm ever gonna just be able to adjust. Like I'm permanently maladaptive, permanently maladjusted, permanently malcontent. Just permanent square peg, permanent round hole, vice versa. Always just clawing my way up the side of the bell curve, sticking my flag in the peak, and just sliding my way back down. Like I'll never amount to anything. I'll never be okay. I'll never get out of this mess alive. There's one thing that I keep in mind that kind of makes everything seem okay. And if I just tell you what that thing is, you're gonna be like, Will, what the fuck is wrong with you? For like the 10th time tonight. And that's I think probably a low estimate. So I wrote this song, and I hope that it communicates it way better than my, drug-addled, over-medicated brain can do with just talking. So
it makes things a hell of a lot better. And this is a song I really like. Before we wrap things up and I try to rob you at that colorful table over there, I'd like to play one more song for you guys. I hope y'all I don't really actually care. So. This is a song that's really important to me, and I close pretty much every show with it. And the reason why is because I think there's like pretty much nothing else I have to offer the world if not this song. I'm very proud of it, is what I'm saying, but it's not all, I guess, alright, so there's one thing, there's one very important and very special fact that I think if you keep in mind at all times, kind of proves that everything is going to be okay. Whenever I feel like I am just like a permanently round peg in a permanently square hole, whenever I feel like I'm clawing my way up the side of the bell curve, sticking my flag in the peak and sliding my way back down over and over again, whenever I feel like I'm going to get out of this and that's a lie, I keep one thing in mind, and it makes everything okay.
This next song kind of is something that I'm really very proud of, because I think it says so much of what is important to me, or something like that. See, whenever I feel horrible, like really, really bad, which I do often, in case that wasn't apparent from my set, there's one thing that I like to keep in mind at all times, and it keeps my head kind of on straight, relatively anyway. You know, it keeps me a little bit together. And, you know, whenever I feel like I'm just like too sick, too weird, too fucked up, too just gonzo, not a good enough person, just low quality, I don't mean just morally, I just mean like not like low quality, not good. I keep this one thing in mind, and that helps a lot. And I like to preface this song when I say this I'd like to preface this song with this, because I think a lot of people are just like, ooh, when they hear the song, but if they know what I'm trying to say a little bit more explicitly, I don't know. Point is that this is something that has meant a lot to me at some of the darker points in my life, and has been very freeing. I was going to say something about what I do as I was doing it, and now I've even forgotten what that was. The thing that led me to explaining that I have as little attention span as Donald Trump has now eluded me.
Yay, ADD!
Oh, here we go. So I spent like 2 years of my life lying to people about having a daughter. I don't know if I just broke canon for anybody in the audience. But I spent a long time doing a lot of character work. It was like a big part of what I wanted to do. And then I did that movie, The Real Will Wood, and now that that's over with, I'm done with the character work thing. I mean, no promises that I won't lie to you again, but, you know, but the character work was a big part of it. And I was doing this thing for a very long time, and some of you folks may have seen the show, where I would come out, you know, and like screaming and hollering and doing the whole Randy Newman on acid thing. And then over the course of the show, I'd tell my jokes. I had like little one-liners, and then at the end of the show, or about halfway, 3/4 of the way through, I'd be like, I'm sick of doing this fucking wackadoo shit. Can I just be me? And people would be like, no. Either people would. One time an audience did say no. It was like, suffer for me, clown. But doctor, I am Pagliacci. But you know, I would do that thing, and I'd be like, I need to just be myself now and play for you these songs that are really for me. And then I play like piano ballads and newer stuff is essentially what I do. And you know, and then people would come up to me after the show. Sometimes people would cry, and they'd be like, I really appreciate you, like, you know, bearing your soul there. And I was like, fuck, that was fake too. And then somebody told me I was manipulative. I made this new friend, and she was like, yeah, no, I think it's really cool that you're able to like be so manipulative. And I was like,
oh.
What? And it hurt, and I made sure she knew that. You see what you do to me. But the point being, I realized that for so long, you know, I had like these layers and layers. You know, I'd come on stage in character, and then I'd break character, quote unquote, to just be a different character. And now, even right now, I don't know how real I'm being. I really don't know, but I think pretty real. You know, obviously I wouldn't be talking like this and doing this stuff. We were just like hanging out in my living room. You know, I mean sometimes, but like, the point being, this is how I would close every show. Is at the end of my the emotional journey that I pretended to go on, I would come and I'd be like, listen, this is the last song I feel like it really sums up everything that I want to say. And here I am going, here's the last song, it really sums up everything I want to say. And I'm being honest when I say it. So I don't know what the fuck that is. Because this is everything I want to say. Art's weird, I guess. This is the avant-garde. And I'm trying to put a punchline at the end of this, and nothing's coming.